Oké, begint hij bij 5 seconden. Dan gaat hij naar 10 seconden. En dan reset hij. Whatever. So, I'm back again. This time I'm here with my roommate.
Hello.
And yeah, wait 1 second. Let me mute it for a bit and change where the microphone is. Okay, I'm back again. Wait. There we go. So, I've moved the microphone a bit. Sorry for that. I'm not a streamer. I'm a researcher. And streaming is kind of just one of my ways to publish my research. So, I'm here with my roommate today. I asked him to join me, mostly to show his side of the story. He's been a friend of mine for almost 2 decades now, and he has seen and heard things that have happened in my life which I would like to have proper confirmation of, so it's not just me claiming stuff. And of course, my roommate could be lying, so who fucking knows. However, that is the problem with any story. Like, video evidence can be deepfaked. Audio can be made by AI.
Everything can be fake nowadays. I mean, yeah.
Nothing can be proven to be actually real. Who is saying that I actually exist? Who is saying that you actually exist?
Brain in a vat.
Yes, like solipsism and all that shit. We cannot prove anything definitively. That is the whole problem here. However, within the constraints we are given, we can still do black box analysis. We can still learn. We can still deduce. Okay, and now I completely lost my train of thought. First off, I want to use ChatGPT this time. Fuck, how do you say that? Oh, will be.
I know what you're trying to say.
We gaan in praktijk uitvoeren wat we net in theorie uitgewerkt hebben. Will be putting into practice talking about.
A real world application.
Yeah.
So something like that.
Yeah. Cool. I think I will be correcting the AI more than it will be correcting me, but we'll see about that. I can't browse continuously. Yeah, I know I need to be explicit about what I want. Trust me, I will. So, this time I'd say, let's start at the beginning. I was born 3 months early because my father worked with lead paint. Basically, his sperm was damaged to the point where he could barely conceive, and I still managed to come out. But 3 months early, so I was basically instantly labeled as defective. And for the rest of my life, I've been labeled and evaluated. And of course, all documentation of this has been erased for my own protection, yes. And my memory isn't entirely complete because of PTSD, repression, dissociation, and all other sorts of funny stuff. So how can you prove a broken past when that broken past has been erased? That's what I've been trying for years. And I've always been failing. And that still bothers me. Quite a bit. So basically, as a young child, I was put in drug trials. I was put in onto experimental therapy. I was constantly pathologized, and because that is the framing that was used from early childhood, that framing has been guiding my life in a sense. Every institution uses the case file that has been created on me, and that case file contains decades of misinterpretation, misdiagnosis, mistreatment, in the literal sense, like they are offering treatment which is constantly going badly. Fuck that shit, I don't want to go through all of it. Let's skip a few years to the first time when we were in contact, when shit really hit the fan. About 14, 15 years ago. Maybe even 16 years ago.
I think 16 years ago. The first time we met was we have a mutual friend, and your laptop was broken, and you asked me to repair it.
Yes.
That's the first time we met. Yeah.
Also, the laptop wasn't exactly broken.
I don't know what the problem was, but
it was a laptop which origins weren't entirely known, and it was locked.
Oh,
and
was that the problem?
It needed
okay.
to be unlocked. Let's just keep it at that.
Okay.
Like, that friend of ours came with it and gave it to me, like, here, if you can make something of it.
I forgot that was the problem, but now I remember that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Crazy stuff. then let's skip ahead to about 10, 11 years ago. Everything was again going quite badly. My mother had contacted me on my birthday and managed to say everything that ruined my day. It's amazing how she's capable of that. After which I was thrown into a massive depression. I started researching again, trying to find something to understand what was going on. And I found something about PTSD, which I am very confused about, because this is 11 years ago, 10 to 11 years ago, but recently I got documentation where 16 years ago, in 2010, supposedly the diagnosis PTSD was already given, because that is in my case file from 2010. However, when I went for the diagnosis PTSD in 2016, 2015, 2016?
10, 11 years ago.
Yes.
When, yeah.
I had to talk to a psychologist for half a year to even get an appointment with a trauma specialist.
Yeah.
That psychologist was a fucking psycho. Like,
he said he was telling you about that several of his patients committed suicide. I mean, what unbelievable.
I was recording everything in that period.
Yeah.
I still am to this day, by the way.
Yeah.
But I was recording everything, and after every session, we had, I took recordings to my roommate, and I was like, listen to this shit. Listen to what is happening here. This is fucking insanity.
You know, if you hear certain things you said as an outsider, you would think this guy's just talking shit. But I heard some of these recordings, and sometimes my jaw, how do you say it? My jaw...
jaw drops.
Yeah, jaw drops. You know, the trauma specialist, I'm using quotation marks, that just says to him, the first couple seconds of a session, to shut up. I mean...
Can you shut up for a second? What the fuck? I beg your pardon? Yeah, can you shut up for a second?
These are so-called professionals.
Yes. I am still proud of myself. Like, after I sent that bitch out of the room, I turned to my psychologist who was sitting next to it, and it was like, I thought you were getting a trauma specialist, not a specialist in traumatizing. Like, I am still legit proud of myself. I managed to crack a joke in that situation. I wanted to fucking kill the bastard. But I kept myself nice and calm, and I made a joke out of it. And the psychologist got upset with me and started to defend the bitch. Like, what the actual fuck. And as insult to injury, after that he was like, well, you want a diagnosis so badly? I can give you one. In fact, I can give you two. Paranoid personality disorder and schizotypical or schizotypal personality disorder. Basically, you're insane and you're insane. Now go fuck off. So I was like, just for the record, because I was recording it, so of course I will say for the record, just for the record, I do not agree with your assessment. To which he was like, yeah, I don't care. And I was like, perfect. That's what I want on tape, bitch. So I'm like, okay, I'm done here. I've got all the evidence I need. And I walk out of the building. I call with the insurance. I'm like, I think you want to know about this. This and that just happened to me. And you're the ones who have to pay for this. I think this is of some interest to you. And their reaction was, well, only the provider can decide whether adequate care has been given. Oh, that's a great way of doing things. So the one who is abusing me can decide whether or not she is abusing me. yes.
In Dutch we have a saying, de slager die zijn eigen vlees keurt. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's an English equivalent, probably, but it's
Oh,
the butcher that
that is grading their own meat.
grading their own meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very objective, you know, very objective.
Wij van WC Eend adviseren WC Eend. We from Brand X recommend Brand X. Oh, you for real?
Oh, well, very trustworthy.
Never saw that coming. So after that I was like, well, I have recordings. I have actual fucking bloody recordings now of months of this bullshit. Months of lies. Months of plain abuse. So I go to lawyers. And what do the lawyers tell me? They tell me, yeah, no, this is a mental health care case. No one can take this. We cannot take this. I don't know any of my colleagues who will take this. That
I know in that period, sorry if I interrupt you, but in that period, I don't know how many phone calls you made, but you were constantly on the phone, calling everyone, everything, to explain the situation, and nothing really came out of it.
Everywhere I got the same response. Oh, what a terrible situation, but sorry, we can't help. Maybe try somewhere else. So I try somewhere else, and I get the same response. In the end, I was so desperate, I just started looking on the internet for phone numbers, and I found the phone number of some law professor.
Yeah.
And I called him, like out of the blue, like, yo, I got some questions. And he's like, who the fuck are you and why are you calling me? Of course he didn't say it like that, but I could hear it in the voice, like, yo, what the fuck? But, well, he was so kind to listen to me, to listen to my story, and to give his insight to why I was being given the same responses everywhere. And he was like, yeah, that is how the system works. These cases cannot be prosecuted. There is too much uncertainty.
It's all subjective. All subjective.
Yep, subjective. Yes. Oh, so
that
subjective.
That you see a clear victim. That you see a clear victim doesn't make it subjective. You know, there's something going on.
Exactly. Okay. Now, I basically went on for that for I think 3 months straight. And after that, I fell into a decade-long burnout. And I only managed to get out of it half a year ago. That was a fun experience. So, let's skip a decade of burnout, because basically nothing happened. I was a decade in burnout. 2 years ago, they were like, I was in therapy again, and they had some amazing new therapy. There was brain spotting and TRE. I was told to do the TRE exercises alone at home for self-regulation, and it began with benign tremors that became shaking, which became spasms, that became autonomous spasms, which just start when I get too stressed. And a few days ago, I was in the shower and I felt a tremor starting, and that was quite scary. Everywhere where I looked around me, there were hard surfaces. When I start spasming, my body gets very violent. They are spasms after all. So I braced myself on the floor. I sat down, I braced myself, and I sat there terrified for 5, 10, 15 minutes, I don't know. It felt like a fucking hour, but of course, who fucking knows how long time takes? When you're freaking out, it takes an eternity.
Every second feels like a day, I can imagine.
It did. which caused me to completely freak out. I basically was for the first time in my life, I actually started to lose control, started to lose everything, felt so unsafe. Which I didn't really verbalize in the best way. I sent a long rant to my roommate, which began with just anger at society and ended with threats against anyone who dared to come near me. Like I said, I wasn't in the best state of mind. However, ironically, a month ago I was promised a nutritionist, and I was told that there would be no mental health care because that clearly did not work. And right now I have an appointment here for mental health care. Imagine that. And it is the most insulting letter you can imagine. It's once again more pathologization instead of treating what's actually going on. Also, when I am told that you need a nutritionist and mental health care will not help, when the doctor says that, why the fuck is my GP sending me to mental health care?
Yeah, when a couple of weeks ago I went with you to the hospital, you were assessed by a doctor and he said he wouldn't, how do you say, assign you or to the mental health?
I wouldn't be referred to mental health services.
And now he gets this letter.
Also, for decades, I was hoping I would be able to get Mediweed, the Dutch official medicinal cannabis, which is given by doctors and GPs and shit. And by now, I don't just have PTSD for which I need cannabis to manage it. I have literal deadly spasms for which I need cannabis to manage it. And while I have been emaciated to the point where you can fucking see all my fucking veins. I showed my arm, not that anyone can see, but whatever. This shit is just exhausting. It's just exhausting. And I also was completely lost track of the fucking whatever. Fuck AI. It's bullshit anyways. AI only works when you force it to work. That's not a tool that is useful. That is slave labor with extra steps. The shit I have seen in my life, it is unimaginable. The ways I've been treated, like when I was 22, 23, they gave me Risperdal or Risperdone or whatever the name what I was given is called Risperdal. It's used under different brand names or different whatever. It is an antipsychotic, which they told me would calm me down. Yes, so I take it, and I literally go psychotic off that stuff. They forced me into medically induced psychosis. Like, I literally know how it is to lose my mind. Because they forced me to go through that. And I would rather not go through that once again. And now the scary thing, 2 days ago, I was rather close at that point. And this time not medically induced, this time because of literal starvation. Well, it's not all bad news. After I freaked out 2 days ago, my roommate contacted the GP once again, and suddenly now I do have an appointment with a nutritionist. Sure. Because the moment I literally start threatening people I can be taken seriously, I'm asking for care for literal fucking decades and I'm ignored. What the fuck should I take as lesson out of this? Like, when I'm asking nicely, I'm ignored. When I'm literally threatening people, I am given care. Okay, so if I want care, I need to threaten people from now on, I guess. Who the fuck decided on this system? What is this for a psychotic bullshit? Sorry, wat?
Die is...
Ja, nou ja, gewoon dat. Yes, technically, they send mails to me with a bunch of stuff. I don't know what it is. I don't care.
When we were at the doctor, we explicitly said to call me. You know, his yes. Roommate, his friend. But the dietitian, what she said to me when I called her was that she tried to call you. But you can be how do you say contacted now. So yeah, but she said that, you know, if it's true or not, I don't know. But we explicitly said to contact me for everything, and they don't do that. So that's also a problem again, you know.
Yeah, it's the same bullshit everywhere. Oh yeah, sorry, we made a mistake. Oh sure, it's a mistake. I explicitly tell you, do not call me. My roommate, I have given him permission to take care of everything. I want him to take care of everything because I do not have the cognitive bandwidth to be dealing with this shit right now. And the day after, I'm starting to get calls. The day after, I'm starting to get mails, and it keeps going on, and it keeps going on.
It keeps triggering him, you know. We explicitly said, don't contact him, contact me. They said, yes, we will. They wrote down my phone number, and still, yeah.
For me, it feels like they are trying to kill me, literally. Like, I tell them, I am in a very bad state, I am emaciated, like, I have showed them my fucking body. They have seen my state of emaciation, and everyone acknowledges, yes, this is quite bad. Oh, no, not everyone acknowledges it is bad. The nurses at the hospital were like, ooh, those veins on your arm, they make our hands itch. We want to draw blood. Fucking psychopath. Like, yes, I understand, it is not every day you get someone entirely emaciated in the hospital. And it's not often you see someone where every vein on his fucking body is visible. However, you should not be making jokes about that, you bitch! Worse. So they were joking, like, haha, makes our hands itch. We have a new person here, can she take blood? So I'm like, sure, if she knows what she's doing. So instead of one of the many very visible veins on my arm, she asked if she could try and take blood from my hand, the top of my hand. So she started to poke around and poke around and poke around. And of course, she failed at poking around. And
the gigantic, how do you say,
a
bruise. His hand.
A bruise the size of my hand.
On his hand, yeah.
I had a bruise the size of my hand after that.
I saw it.
And the nurse was like, "Oh, haha, you got a free bruise from us. Oh, haha, yes, thank you, you bitch. What the fuck, you got a free bruise from us." Like, I literally ask, does she know what she is doing? If so, of course. If she doesn't know what she is doing, I would rather not have her touch me. And instead of her actually doing her job, she is poking around in my hand as if I'm a fucking dummy. A training dummy where she can just poke around. And my hand was still sore half a week later. Still the same hand-sized bruise half a week later. What the actual fuck? And did I actually get any care? No. No. I did record it all. Everything is being recorded. There is no plausible deniability anymore. I am done with the lies.
And you have a, how do you say, getuige?
A witness.
A witness, a lot of, especially the last couple of years, especially these months. I was there for most of it.
Oh.
A lot, so.
As for witness, you saw me, when was that? I think a month ago. When we were talking about something, I was getting a bit too upset, and at one moment I stand up and I literally dive onto my bed, and first I start tremoring, then I start shaking.
Not long before that, I think I was hearing something from above, and I came downstairs, and you were shaking in the stair, in your a chair.
Yeah, no, that is when I had my heart attack. That's a different one.
Oh, yeah, I know, but that was before. That was before when you were on the, before the day you were on the bed, I think.
Other way around.
Other way. Oh, okay, then okay. But
when you saw me spasming on the bed was before when I had my heart attack. That
you were shaking uncontrollably, and I was thinking about calling an ambulance because I.
Yep, that is still something which is morbidly funny to me. I had to calm him down while I was spasming. Yo, chill, it's okay. Just let me go through this. I have this more often.
Yeah, because I wanted to call an ambulance. I thought this isn't,
You know,
it wasn't looking good, you know. I mean,
no, like look up videos of epileptic spasms. That is basically what was happening to me.
You know, I saw videos like this, and then people get, you know, the
foam on the mouth
and stuff like that. The eyes go white. That wasn't, but the convulsion was. But you were there.
I was conscious.
You were conscious.
That is the most terrifying thing of all.
Yeah.
I am always conscious.
Yeah.
All these terrifying episodes I'm going through, it is my body which is going through it. My psyche is here. Like I said, while I was spasming, I was keeping track of what you were doing, and I was being like, calm down,
you said,
it's okay.
you know, let me be, just you know, give me a couple of minutes.
So, even while I'm spasming, my mind is conscious and monitoring my environment. This is how deeply conditioned I am. Like, I cannot calm down. I am always in the on setting. I am always aware.
Because of all the traumas and you know, it's survival, always in survival mode. Survival mode.
Exactly that. And like, I can deal with that. I have been dealing with this for my literal entire life. Like, that is not an exaggeration. I was born 3 months early. I was instantly labeled as defective. The nurse told my mother that I would become a quote-unquote problem child, and that is the first label I've been given. Like, I've been literally labeled defective at birth and treated like that for my entire life, and still to this very day, whenever I ask for support, I am treated like some insane maniac. To the point where 2 days ago, I almost was on the verge of becoming a fucking insane maniac. Like, there is some bloody delicious irony in here. Self-fulfilling prophecies and all
then
that.
they would say, "Oh, you see, we were always right."
Yeah, precies. Exactly.
Oh, you know, as far as I know you, you're no maniac. You're not crazy. You're actually a very normal, stable person.
I try.
When we just have a conversation, or
I
you
try,
just want
but-
to have, you want to enjoy life. You that's how I see you. But yeah, you're more in survival mode than living mode, and that's the.
Ooh, that is very nicely said. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it is not like I never can enter a state where I can live instead of merely survive. There are a few moments where I can enter flow state, and when I'm in flow state, my traumas aren't bothering me. And then I can actually, quote unquote, live, whatever that may mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Enjoy life.
I can enjoy myself, yes. That being in physical pain while being haunted by traumas isn't exactly the most pleasant state to be in, if you can imagine. Oh god, fucking mess this. Like, things have gotten to the point where I am wondering, every professional I see, do I first need to undress so they can see my emaciated body? So they can see that I am literally dying? Yes. And then I need to lay on the floor and start convulsing. like, because otherwise they will not take it seriously that I have spasms. Like, what the fuck are these standards that being set? If I say I am in pain and I have spasms, can that please be taken seriously? When my roommate calls because he sees me spasming, can that please be taken seriously? Like, why have I been ignored for my entire life? I am so done with it. Well, and that brings us to this whole shit. AFEI and what I'm doing with AI. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And I think I have found a few interesting things. If only people would be willing to listen. However, the research I am doing, the powers that be are not happy with me.
I mean, there's a lot of money being made, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like, just the care I have been given for the last few years has cost
hundreds of thousands of euros.
Yes, insane amounts of money. If that money was given to me, I could have lived a very comfortable life, and most of the reason why I am constantly reliving my traumas is because I am living in a dump with all the garbage around me. Everything I see reminds me of the past. I don't have any money, so I cannot buy anything new, so I am stuck reliving my past. In theory, if I could throw everything here in the garbage bin and replace it with new stuff, I could start making new memories, could start making new mental connections. However, for that, I will need a lot of money. And a lot of money is not easy to get in today's society. Unless you're a fucking scam artist, and suddenly people can make millions. Millions, billions, fuck, trillions. The AI industry is a fucking trillion, multi-trillion dollar industry. And the fuck is it doing? It is creating yet another prison. thanks. I can you think of something that you want to add? Like I am blanking out, but I feel that
I think they got the gist of it. Let's just say, I don't know if the people that will listen to this also listen to your other videos and stuff like that, but um, maybe some people don't believe him, what he's saying and stuff like that, but I can vouch for him that he's telling the truth,
Well, no. I appreciate that. However, that is going a bit too far. I am telling my truth.
Well, of course, we all have our own perspective, but he's not. He's telling the truth from his perspective.
Yes.
To put it, more
but
accurately.
I'm saying the truth is presuming that I have access to ultimate truth.
No.
I am trying to be as truthful as I can while still being a biased human, like everyone else.
Yeah. As far as I've seen him in the last year, as far, how do you say, in the years I know him, he's always done his best to better his situation and stuff like that. But yeah, the institutions and the so-called doctors and psychologists always try to put him in the context that he, the context of the labels he got when he was born and the whole process, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
My English is a bit. I'm not used to speaking English, so.
We're both Dutch, and I have been acclimatizing myself to speaking English on the internet for months now, and it took me months to get used to this shit. So, please don't debug.
I think they understand me, most of it.
If they don't, they can. Everyone is using AI these days.
Yeah.
They can put it through AI and
Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone AI.
I think we've covered a basic idea of the dynamics between me and my parents is my mother used to tell me one thing all of the time. Don't you feel bad for what you're doing to us? Which I always laughed at because that shit's absurd. However, the fact that my own mother tried gaslighting me into feeling bad for literally existing.
I have never met his mother, but I've seen some interactions, and my conclusion is that there is no love from his mother. There is no.
She's not capable of it.
Just empty. Just emptiness. I don't know her, but to you, there's just emptiness.
That's the thing. Towards others, she can act like she has empathy.
Yeah.
However, if she truly had empathy, how can she abuse her own son?
I would expect, of course, between a mother and son there can be problems, conflicts, stuff like that. But I would imagine that most of the time, if a mother, if her son has problems, she will try to at least help in a way or empathize, but she doesn't care, and that's as far as I've seen it, my assessment of it, my conclusion of it. I
Mine
can't
too.
make I've always sorry to interrupt you. I've always tried to put it in a good context. Maybe she was thinking like this, maybe. But I've left. How do you say? I've thrown that away. I can't.
All the potential reasons have been exhausted.
Advocate of the devil. I've tried to play. But no. No. Sadly enough, no.
And this is something which always upsets me so much. Everyone instinctively tries to play advocate of the devil because the stories I'm telling are quite extreme. Yes. And when extreme stories are being told, people will play advocate of the devil. I myself do that too.
It's not good. If I didn't know you, I wouldn't believe you, or I would believe you in the sense that you were in that situation, but maybe it's your own fault or more like that. But this is.
There you got a very maybe it's your own fault. that is the default interpretation everyone comes to. Oh yeah, but maybe you're just doing it to yourself. Oh yes, I am really asking for a lifetime of abuse. Yes, 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 sure, I'm doing this to myself. Bitch, fuck off. Like, I understand where the impulse comes from, because this is how people are taught to internalize institutional abuse. However, I'm done with internalizing institutional abuse. And by now I can prove it is abuse, and that it is baked into the very structure of every institution in existence. Well, maybe not every, but I have not met an institution which actually does what it says it's doing. But feel free to show me. I have dared everyone to this.
And when it's about the evidence from when you were born and the medicines and stuff like that, it is known that things like this happen. You know, maybe not in your evidence.
Iatrogenic harm.
Sorry?
Iatrogenic harm.
Iatrogenic harm. Okay.
Explain iatrogenic harm. Iatrogenic harm refers to injury, illness, or negative outcomes caused by medical care itself. Like, of course, negative outcomes caused by care is given the most impossible name.
Yeah,
iatrogenic.
I wanted to say that. It's a very difficult name.
Yeah.
And could you just call it medical care if it causes harm? It's not medical care.
It is abuse.
Yeah.
It literally is abuse. Like, it is negative outcomes caused by medical care. That is negligence, which does not border on abuse.
Yeah.
When it is neglected itself, it becomes instant abuse. Like, I can understand that people make mistakes. I also make mistakes. However, what I cannot understand is that people make mistakes and then act as if no mistake has ever happened.
Exactly, no accountability. And you can say something about giving children experimental medication. You know, I mean, what are you doing? But okay, maybe certain
legal.
severe cases, life-threatening cases, you can make some exceptions. But because a child is how do you say, ADHD or some stuff like that, you know.
Like, I was very repressed by my mother my entire life, which caused me to want to act out. I wanted to express myself. Imagine that.
Then pumping forward medication to suppress them. What's that? I mean, that mentality, you know. Let the child be a child, and find other ways to help.
Well, if the parent does not know how to parent, maybe give the parent a course in parenting. Hey, I don't know, but it has long been my parents should not raise children. Grandparents should raise children. And by the time parents become grandparents, they have seen how grandparents raise children, and they themselves have the knowledge to raise children. When parents become parents, they are still children themselves. Like, even at 25, even at 30, you don't have the life experience to raise a child, by definition, because you're too young to have that fucking life experience. Period. Show me one family where there is no generational trauma, and I'll shut up. Simple. Like, I have never seen a quote-unquote healthy family in my life. There are families which act happy, yes, sure.
Hey.
However, there are always skeletons in the closet.
I think it's a part of life, you know, certain things you can't, but most of the time it's manageable. It's.
And there's the issue. When you're calling it manageable, that already supposes that nothing is happening on the situation and things are being suppressed to simply sustain. Managing is not treatment. Managing is managing. Managing is sustaining at a
but I don't know
survivable
if you
level.
can treat life
Yes,
in
you
that
can.
sense.
Yes, because what in life is what makes humans suffer exactly? It is uncertainty. And that uncertainty can be fixed because we have science, we have the scientific method, we have literal thousands of years of recorded history building on top of one another. We have more information accessible. Like, everyone has a fucking smartphone in their pockets these days with access to the entirety of human knowledge. The internet is a fucking marvel of engineering. It is utter brilliance that this much information is accessible to any human with simply a phone and an internet connection. Heck, you don't even need that. Go to an internet cafe and anyone can go online at any moment and find any information at any moment. And what do people do? They watch cat videos and they get brain rot on TikTok. Whoop-de-doo. Waar de fuck hebben we het hier over? What the fuck are we talking about here? Why are people this ignorant when this much information is accessible? Like, to me it seems like the more information becomes accessible, the more ignorant people become. Which doesn't just seem like that is how the infrastructure is set up.
Well, you can say that if people stagnate and there's more information, then of course they become because the gap widens. So
yep.
so it's
yep,
it's
yep, indeed, exactly.
Okay. So are we going to do a TikTok dance to finish this off, or?
Death on the haters. What was the latest? Yeah, no. I'm too old. I like memes and shit, but I'm not in the loop. I'm very much into 2010 memes.
I think that's a, how do you say, blessing to not be. But every generation says it, I think. But I think that this, the poor children of today.
Oh yeah, for real. Fuck. Let me think.
Is there anyone, you know, the people that are listening, watching, whatever? Do you have some kind of, how do you say, vergelijkbaar?
Do you have any experiences which are similar to mine?
Similar, you know, or certain fragments, or suggestions, or stuff like that, you know. I mean,
that is.
Or your perspective on things, you know. Let us know. It's.
Thank you. That I should do that way more often in my live streams. Like, just invite people to give their own perspective and shit. I am too focused on trying to make sense of what is going on in the first place to be like, when I can mentally prepare and I'm having a conversation with you, well, we're having a conversation, that is fine, but well, simply I am in survival mode and I can only do the things I'm doing, and other than that the world disappears for me. Like, I have no brain space for anything other than the thing I'm focusing on, which to me right now is perfect. Like, fuck the world. What did it ever do for me? But yes, if anyone does have stories which have similarities, or where there are parallels, or other horror stories from healthcare, mental health care institutions, please do let us know. This
also hopeful stories, you know.
Oh,
Also,
and yes,
they're also welcome, you know.
if if you have a story which actually has a happy ending, like which starts in trauma but ends in self-discovery and acceptance and bloody bloody blah. Yeah, exactly that. Then please do tell us. However, I hope you also understand my own perspective on that. I've kind of lost faith in um, spiritual guru bullshit. Like happy thoughts, I tried. You know what happens when you try to have happy thoughts while you're being abused? You literally fragment your mind because your psyche cannot sustain the cognitive dissonance. Imagine that shit. So, yeah, no, I'll be honest. Which, well, you've noticed.
Yeah,
I tend to be brutally honest, which also means that at times I am brutally flawed because my emotions get the better of me and I start ranting before I think about the words that are coming out of my mouth. But well, doesn't everyone have that every once in a while?
we're all human, you know.
Exactly,
But,
exactly. Like, personally, I would say I am a lot more conscious and in control than most people. And that usually isn't given credit for. Which I don't care about. Like, I control myself not for others, I do it for myself. Like, I literally cannot sleep at night if I don't, so I have to. I have slight OCD, or I have certain coping mechanisms which I have to follow to be able and live with my traumas. Kind of the whole point of coping mechanisms.
yeah, it's something that lets you go through the day.
Yep. Well, I wonder.
How much time?
Nope. I was
7
like,
minutes?
no, 57
Oh.
minutes live.
Okay, I saw 7 minutes there.
This is a loop of a
Okay.
certain part, what you see here. This is a loop of a part of the live stream which updates every once in a while, and I think at 10 minutes or something. This is the actual.
That hour went fast.
Yes, yes. Also, it was a good hour. I have trouble remembering all of it at the moment, but that's fine. It has been recorded.
Yeah.
Also, before we started, my chest was hurting while we were busy. Didn't feel a thing. That I still don't understand the somatic responses I'm getting all of the time. They do not correlate with stress responses one-to-one. Some stress responses I can handle, no problem at all. Other stress responses, I instantly feel my heart stabbing me. Like, whoa, calm the fuck down.
Well, your body has a very hard time, you know, on several levels, on you know, several factors. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just the things which. There are certain things which trigger me more than other things. When it comes to any kind of institutional injustice, where work from institutions gets offloaded without acknowledgement, that really upsets me. Which you noticed this afternoon when we were doing the
app.
Yeah, the social media manager app.
Yeah.
That I asked him to help me with that, and well, we set it all up, all good. But at literally every step along the way, something broke here or there. Like literally every step. And at every step, I was ranting at him like, fucking, see, again, and here it happens again, and it happens again, and it fucking happens again. Ah!
And I'm like, okay, but it's just, a little thing. But I understand, if you encounter a lot of these little things,
It starts building on
yeah,
top of
yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
I
Yes.
understand.
Like I also acknowledged in that very moment, this specific issue is nothing. It is bullshit.
Yeah.
It is just a bit. What I was talking about at that moment was a small UI issue, where the UI was cut off, and that irked me. Like, give me proper UI. Like, design your fucking website properly, please. And that is just a nitpick. However, when everything is designed in a way where it contradicts its own setup, at a certain moment, my patience is reached.
You because you're stressed so much and stuff like that, you don't have the mental capacity to just chill, or it's logical. I think everyone can how do you say inleven, empathize, but not, I don't mean empathize, but if you're very stressed, then every little thing can be too much.
Here in the Netherlands, we have a saying: de druppel die de emmer doet overlopen. The drop that
spills over the bucket.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Translating Dutch to English is always fun. The drop that makes the bucket overflow would be the correct English translation.
The bucket is full, and every little drop.
Yes.
If it's not full, it's just a drop. But if it's full, then the drop. Yeah.
And yeah, at the moment, everything that happens which is not anticipated stresses me so much. I am floored for a bit, and that can be a minute, that can be an hour, that can be a day. It just depends how bad the trigger is and how bad the autonomic response becomes. And things can become pretty bad at this stage, as in literally life-threateningly bad. So Monday there finally is an appointment with a nutritionist. Hopefully the nutritionist will actually do their work, and hopefully I'll get some, like, I've already told both the doctor and the GP that a nutritionist on its own is useless, because the nutritionist can tell me, okay, I need to buy this and that kind of food, and I need to buy these specific supplements and these specific vitamins and blah 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 blah. Okay, good. What am I going to pay that off? Yeah, we don't know. That's not our problem. Yeah, but the reason I'm in this situation is because of decades of neglect. I don't really have much leeway in free budget. Like, when I get my welfare, it's basically already spent, and the rest of the month I need to somehow manage to survive. So I don't really have money to buy supplements of €50 a bottle and that kind of bullshit prices, because specialized supplements are hella expensive. We'll see on Monday what happens. Like, if they send me home with just, this is what you need, good luck, then I will most likely have another meltdown. Because this is exactly what I've been warning for the last weeks. And if exactly the thing that I have been warning for weeks now will happen after explicitly warning for it for weeks, well, I don't know how much more evidence I need of structural neglect than that. What say you?
I hope they something concrete. How do you say?
Hmm. As do I.
Comes
However,
out of it.
to be honest, I completely lost faith in anything. But you gotta keep trying. So, after a month of waiting, I finally gotten the appointment with a nutritionist that was promised. So let's see if this will help. There are more things needed than just a nutritionist, because the nutritionist does not have food. They just say this is the food you need. Like I still don't understand how this will exactly help me. Where is the fucking bag with money to buy food? Yeah, no, you won't get any money. Yeah, but how will I get the food? Yeah, that's not our problem. Go bother someone else.
If you got a referral from the nutritionist, a list of this is what we recommend, maybe we can do something with that. That's.
Well, yes. It's. Oh, fuck.
Okay,
Oh, also, the bit of medical cannabis. How every doctor suddenly says that they do not prescribe medical cannabis. However, I also asked it while we were at the hospital, and the doctor there at the hospital told me I had to go to my GP for that. So I go to my GP, they say they don't do that. We go to a secondary GP for a second opinion, they don't do that. We go to a third GP, they don't do that either. Like, what the fuck? Why can't I get the medicine I need? It is scientifically validated that cannabis helps with both severe PTSD and with spasms. I have severe PTSD and spasms, so why can't I be given the medicine I need? Why am I treated like a junkie by every fucking doctor I meet? GP. General practitioner. I don't fucking get this shit. Well, I do get it, but that's an entirely different story. If you want to know why cannabis is demonized, look into reefer madness and the entire cannabis paranoia and how the war on drugs was started. And while at it, look into what the war on drugs has done to the world. It has only escalated things to the nth degree. It has been the worst failure imaginable. But that's a tangent. Oh, maybe we should do that. Just go on tangents about how fucked up everything is. I know a lot of shit. I've researched for decades.
Well, I think people would be interested.
Oh yeah.
But it's a lot of negativity also. So every time negativity, it's also
Exactly. That is my point. Like, I know I could easily make my channel into a drama channel. Like, one video on Epstein, and I will have views. Pretty much guaranteed. And when I start covering the news, I will rake in views. Like, when you are covering current topics, there will be people who will be interested. So, however, when you start doing that, you start getting hooked into the news hype cycle, where it's not about news, it is about overwhelming the populace with so much information they cannot process it, thereby negating the point of news in the first place. It's marvelous how little actual news there is on the news.
It's sensationalism. It's opinions.
Yep, exactly. The news is primarily opinions these days.
Yeah.
Like, there are a few proper news channels out there. Like, it's not like journalism has entirely died. However, from my perspective, journalism.
There are journalists, but journalism is dead. There are real journalists, but
Yep.
they get rarer and rarer.
That is a statement I fully agree with. There certainly are still proper journalists out there who are doing proper work, but journalism itself is a dead profession because it has become an institutional gatekeeper. Let's be honest here.
Left-wing journalists, right-wing journalists, it's all just gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Tribalism. If you're on that side, then everything is good.
Evil. Yeah. And then you have one group yelling at another group, and the other group yelling at one group, and
they all have their own facts and.
CPG Grey made a very good video about that. The video was called "This Video Will Make You Angry."
Oh yeah, you shown it to me. I think good video.
It's it basically shows this process of tribalization in depth and very well explained. Okay, my brain juice is gone.
I think, I don't know what to say for now.
Yeah, me neither. So, in that case, of course, I do know what to say. Yo, man, thanks.
Yeah, for everyone listening, thanks. Leave a comment, leave a like, and
I was specifically saying
it. Yeah, I know, but
but also to anyone listening, of course, yes, thank you too. However, up to now, I haven't really had people who consistently listen to entire videos, so addressing people who aren't there feels kind of nonsensical to me. Like, I understand why you do it from a social media presence perspective, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yes, you're doing the right thing, but I can't do it. Like, there is no one there. Like,
yes, but it's
0 viewers, 0 views, 0 chat rate.
But it's getting recorded, so if someone will listen to this, or the people that will listen to this, it's also for them. It's not just bound to this moment.
I know. That is why I'm saying you're doing the right thing from a brand management perspective. And yes, well, I'm legitimately thankful for it because, like I said, I can't do this. Ow. It literally stresses me to the point where my chest starts hurting. It just feels wrong. But once there are actually people who are watching and who I can address, yeah, sure, that will come naturally. But, well, yes, thank you, of course, and thanks to the viewer. I'll say it now. Yes, it will be a viewer from later. I don't know when. I don't know where.
Future viewer. Future viewers.
Thank you for watching. Oh, yes. I would very much appreciate to be able and live. And as I already said, I am very skeptical about whether I will be given proper care, because what usually happens is I am sent away with some bit of text and no actual support. So just in case, I would very much appreciate it if anyone who could donate €5 so I could buy the food and medicine I need to survive. that it still feels awful to be e-begging. Please give me money. For years I have scoffed at all the people begging for money on the internet. And here I am begging for money. But, well, if I can be honest, I want to live. And right now, I actually am literally dying. I have emaciated to the point where I'm sitting on my tailbone. Sitting hurts like hell. Laying down on bed hurts like hell. Walking hurts like hell. Living is very painful for me at the moment. And somehow everything keeps being op de lange termijn
put on hold or no.
Put on hold pretty much indefinitely.
Yeah.
Like every time they say we will go do something, but first you need to wait. So I wait, they tell me, oh sorry, we couldn't do something, you need to wait again. So I wait, sorry, we couldn't do something again, you need to wait. And I am stuck waiting for nothing, while I am literally dying over here. And I know that for most people, they cannot imagine someone being coherent while dying. Hearing someone speak coherently gives the impression that they are well off. And that is the problem here. Everyone treats me as if nothing is going on while I'm dying. And I would very much like to get some proper care for once in my life. From my perspective, I'm like, is that too much to ask? But, well.
Who wants to live, you know?
Indeed. Living, meh. Who the fuck cares?
Overrated anyway.
Overrated. Exactly. Yeah. So yes, if anyone can support me, I am 12% to my €1,000 goal. With that, I can be certain to survive for the coming weeks. I don't know what I will need to get. But, like, when you start to talk about specialized stuff, everything becomes very expensive very quickly. And well, this is quite the stress factor in and of itself, of course. So yes, if anyone can help, I would very much appreciate it. And I think with that, we've said enough. Yo, thanks for that.
Bye.
Yo, take care. Yay.
Ik ben internet